give a talk about supply chain, especially in the agriculture industry. But yeah, to give you some sort of introduction of the supply chain topic. Yeah, you must be very familiar with this one. That fried rice. What do you think the fried rice consists of? Yeah. The first one is must be the rice. Rice is, I think it's very unique word in English because the word rice itself represent the early stage of the crops until the final stage of the crops, and then if you process it, it still be called rice. And then when you cook it, you still name it rice. But in Indonesia, especially in Java, we have different names for those steps. For each steps, in each stages of the crops, we have different names. Right. The first material to make a fried rice should be the rice. Okay. Then the second one, garlic. And then third one, egg. Fourth one, soy sauce. And then MSG or umami. And then you can make egg fried rice. Okay? But yeah, if we make an analogy to this term, egg fried rice consists of several things. You can use analogy like water. Water must be sourced in the mountains. Water came as the rain, and then it will be collected in the soil, and then we can take water out of the source. And then the water from the mountains very greatly, they will be going down in the upstream and then finally in the downstream. So anything, any product which built, produced, manufactured by human always follow that pattern. Like the analogy of the water, which goes from the source and then to the upstream and then finally in the downstream. So the analogy of that, if we produce some goods it always come from raw material, and then the raw material taken from the environment by suppliers, and then suppliers supply that material to the manufacturer. The manufacturer use that raw material to make products, and then products will be distributed by distributor, and then going downstream finally to the final customer, like us. Okay. So this analogy, we call it supply chain, because it symbolizes the flow of the supply, and then because each of the stages is connected one to the other, we can make an analogy. The connection is like a chain. Okay, so that's basically a supply chain. But in fact, things are not as simple as my analogy, because sometimes if we have like that one, the OEM, do you know OEM?
Is it like the marketplace?
No. OEM stands for original. Yes, the last one is manufacturer. How about the E?
Economic.
OEM. Original equipment manufacturer. Original equipment manufacturer. The raw materials always come from the supplier. One fried rice, as we can see before, came from at least 4 or 5 suppliers for those simple product. Now we can imagine if we have a product like this laptop or your cell phone, it will come from many suppliers, right? Not just 2, not just 3, but maybe 15, 30, 50, 100 suppliers. Okay. The first supplier before the manufacturers, we call it tier 1. But that particular suppliers in the tier 1 should be supplied by another industry, another supplier. We call it tier 2. And it goes to tier N. It was limitless. Yeah. Some product have like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, but more complex product can have like 5, 6, 7 tier. So you can imagine like this one. The first tier for car consists of 30,000 parts. That came from maybe 100 suppliers, or maybe more. And that particular suppliers should be supplied from another tier. Okay, so you can imagine how complex the supply chain was. That's why we need a supply chain, right? A supply chain refers to the entire network of individuals, organizations, resources, activities, and technology involved in the creation and delivery of a product or service from the raw material stage to the end customer. So any individuals, any organizations, any resources, any activities, any technology involved in creation of a product or services, not just product, not just a tangible product, but also a services, intangible product, should be called a supply chain. It encompasses all the activities necessary to transform raw materials into finished product, then deliver it to the customer, including sourcing, procurement, production, transportation, warehousing, distribution, and also customer service. Okay? A supply chain involves a complex web of relationships among suppliers, manufacturers, distributors, retailers, and customers. And the goal is to optimize the flow of goods, services, and information along the entire chain to minimize cost. So the goal is to minimize cost, reduce lead times, improve quality, and enhance customer satisfaction. What is lead time? Have you heard lead times before? The term lead times? No?
Is it about how long does it take to make the product?
Yeah. So lead times is actually the time needed from the order, from the production order until the delivery of the product itself. Yeah, for example, if you bought something from e-commerce, you click the buy now, like today, the product will be delivered tomorrow. That's lead time. So yeah, almost any product needs a lead time. Almost any product. Even if you buy fried rice, from the time you order the salad to make one, should be like 10 or 15 minutes to be to have the fried rice ready for you. So why we should learn about supply chain? Why should we learn about supply chain? Because what's the risk of the mismanagement of the supply chain? Do you have any example of that? Let's take the simple example like egg fried rice. What will be the risk of bad supply chain management of egg fried rice? Or a car, more complex product. Do you have any example, or can you imagine a particular situation when we cannot manage the supply chain in a good way?
Maybe for the fried rice, we have to manage about the expired date to make.
Expired date.
Yes,
Okay.
consider when making the product, we have to make sure that it's good and satisfy the customer needs.
Satisfy the customer.
Yes.
How can you satisfy the customer?
With good quality material, like ingredients. I mean,
Ingredients. Okay.
like good quality of rice, eggs, chicken, maybe sauce, and there's
Yeah. Sauce. Yeah. Sauce is very important because if you change your sauce, the taste will be different, right?
The recipe.
Do you know any particular sauce used in the fried rice stall, hawkers?
sometimes like usually tomato sauce.
Tomato sauce, okay.
Right?
If you change the brand, the taste will be different, right?
Yes.
What will be the risk if you cannot, as the seller, if let's say you are the seller of the fried rice, usually you bought tomato sauce with the brand of ABC, let's say ABC, and one day you cannot find any ABC tomato sauce. What will be the case then? What will be the risk of that?
Like the buyer would recognize like
Yeah.
it has a different taste,
Yeah.
and then like they will be not satisfied with
Yes.
this.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. That is very simple example of the risk in the supply chain management. What else? Do you have? Yeah.
So maybe I will use car for example.
Car. Okay.
So the risk of mismanagement of supply chain. Recently, Porsche Taycan have a recall the Taycan model between 2020 and 2024 model because of battery issues. So because of the delayed testing and poor manufacturing of the battery, the 2020 and 2024 model have a unsafe battery. So there's a few case Taycan owners that charge the battery overnight, have the car explode and create fire because of the mismanufacturing.
Was Porsche Taycan an electric vehicle?
Yes, electric vehicle.
Yes. So actually, we have huge amount of example. Yeah. When we fail in the supply chain management, the cost is unimaginable. Right? Loss of customers, loss of profits. Yeah, you can lose everything as a brand, like as an industry. You know, if you search the story behind the fall of Nokia. You know Nokia? Okay. Nokia used to be a king in the mobile phone industries. But now the brand is gone. Completely gone. And the main reason behind that, the fallen brand of Nokia, is actually supply chain. Supply chain. So the next one is the characteristics of supply chain. The first one is the interconnectedness. A supply chain is made up of multiple interconnected entities such as suppliers, manufacturers, distributors, retailers, and customers. Yeah. The activities of one entity can have a ripple effect on others within the chain. What kind of ripple that can affect the supply chain? Can you imagine what the ripple was? Will be. Or do you have any example for that? Ripple.
So, I looked it up on Google. It says that ripple effect occurs when initial disturbance to a system propagates outward to disturb an increasingly larger portion of system. So, like for examples, like a calm water, and then we drop something to the water, and then it will be it will move slow.
Yeah. So, in the term of supply chain, what is exactly the ripple?
Maybe if
Ripple in supply chain. Any example? Complex, involving numerous steps, processes, and intermediaries. Managing a supply chain requires careful coordination and collaboration among all parties involved. It's complex. And the third one is globalization. Many supply chains are global in nature, with products and components sourced from different countries and regions around the world. This can add additional complexity and risk to the supply chain. Do you have any example for this one? Yeah.
Maybe because there's a type of material that is not sourced in that country,
Okay.
we have to provide it in another country which has different rules and complex, strict rules like that. Maybe it's,
Do you have any particular example for it? A specific material that can be found only in certain countries?
I don't know, maybe like
Indonesia, let's say Indonesia.
Freeport, like that.
Freeport, like
No, maybe like in we at Freeport we own only for like 60%.
in Freeport.
Us Indonesian people only own like 60%, and the other one is the countries that needs the source.
Okay.
Maybe like that.
Yeah, in the case of Freeport, actually, the main owner of the Freeport company, especially the mines in the Papua,
Yes.
is the government of Indonesia.
Yes.
Because we have more than 50% of the shares.
50%.
More than 50%. Previously, we only have under 50%, so it's not the majority. Okay. Another good example is the nickel. Do you know nickel? Yeah. What is the nickel used for?
For nickel, we can use as battery on our electrical vehicle, and also we can use as lithium battery stuff like
Yes.
this.
So the main components to build a battery for electric vehicle is nickel and also some we call it rare materials like lithium, nickel, and also lithium only be found in certain countries like Indonesia and Congo and also Argentina. Yeah. So if let's say China is now the biggest manufacturers of EV automobiles, the nickel itself is imported from Indonesia. So you can imagine it, the nickel mining in Indonesia shut it down by the government. Yeah, China, the EV manufacturers in China will be suffering. Yeah. Okay, and the fourth one is the flexibility. Supply chains need to be flexible in order to adapt to changing market conditions and customer demands. So, market conditions and customer demands is not fixed. It's always changing. So, the entire supply chain should be flexible enough to adapt with those change. This can involve adjusting production schedules, sourcing materials from different suppliers, or changing distribution channels. The fifth one is the lean principles. Many supply chains are designed to minimize waste and optimize efficiency, using lean manufacturing principles to eliminate unnecessary steps, reduce inventory, and improve productivity. There will be also a risk management. Supply chains are exposed to a wide range of risks, such as natural disasters, supplier bankruptcies, and geopolitical instability. Effective risk management is critical to ensuring supply chain continuity and resilience. 7. Technology-driven. Modern supply chains are increasingly reliant on technology such as automation, data analytics, and blockchain to improve efficiency, visibility, and traceability. So the term supply chain management refers to the integrated planning, implementation, coordination, and control of all business processes and activities necessary to produce and deliver as efficiently as possible products that satisfy market requirements. Okay. Yeah, this one is the goal of a good supply chain strategies. We can deliver right product, we can deliver in the right place, we can deliver product in the right time, in the right quantity, in the right quality, in the right price, the right cost, and the right impact. Okay, that's the goal of the supply chain strategies. Okay, we have an example of the supply chain of a coffee. Okay. Oops. Yeah, this chart shows us the chain of the supply chain of a coffee from the producer to the consumer. Okay. And this one is the price. Yeah, you can see that there's a big price gap between the first stage of coffee growing up until the stage 5 of retail. Okay, so yeah, if you bought a cup of coffee from a cafe, it's usually how much? A cup of coffee in the cafe, like 25,000 rupiah, right?
Yes.
25 or 30, sometimes 40. What is the cheapest price of cappuccino in the cafe?
Cappuccino.
10,000. Can you find 10,000? From the machine? From the espresso machine?
Maybe the cheapest one is Americano. Only black coffee. 10,000 maybe. That's
10,000, yeah. But yeah, for cappuccino, we usually find the price is around 25,000. In the chart is $2.17. $2. Why? For the growing stage it's only 0.07 dollars only.
so it's
Very cheap. Very cheap. Okay. Any thoughts? Any question about supply chain?